Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So I just came from walking a 2-mile journey, which is not very common, but I'm getting back to it. And we started going to this gym that for some reason I think the owner is trying to save on electricity, so he doesn't put the air conditioning on, and it be so hot in there. The heat actually makes you weak, not even the exercise. So this morning I was like, I'm not going there. I'd rather go walk than go there. So Rich went there and I went walking, and it was a really good walk. And I just got back. I'm sitting here in the backyard. You can see the little flowers that were here have grown and they look really good. One thing I need to say though, I miss Liberia. I really miss Liberia. Like, I talk about Liberia every day now. And it's funny because everyone's laughing at me. Like, I talk about Liberia. It's like I've gotten to that place again, like how I felt when I was in the US, anxious to go back. But if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. You're the one that's keeping this channel going. If you're new here, I am so excited you decided to click on this video. I moved from North Dakota, the US, to Ghana just about a year ago. I'm on my way to Liberia, but I still have a lot more to do in Liberia to prepare the place for my to be livable or be comfortable. And because I got sick of being in the US, we decided to transition in Ghana. Either way, we would still be in Africa. So if you want to get to know some things about Ghana or Liberia, subscribe to this channel and follow this journey. I just share my experiences, my honest experiences. So on this channel, you will get both all the good things and you will get some strategic criticism, and hopefully you can keep an open mind. The truth of the matter is, regardless of what the criticism is or what the critique is, we ain't going anywhere. We're gonna remain here. We ain't coming back to that America that you guys are sitting in. So don't get discouraged because of the critiques that I'm given, or if it sounds negative. It's not the intention to sound negative. I'm just being honest about what it is. But that shouldn't like change your mind about your move or anything. Just learn from the experience and try to put things in place that I didn't put in place. So this morning, I want to talk to you guys about the inflation, and we all have seen that everywhere in the world since this Russian war with Ukraine. They say is the purpose, is why the inflation is killing us. We don't even know anymore, you know. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about how it has affected Ghana overall. And I think Rich is more knowledgeable on this topic than I am, but I'm just going to share the little insight that I've gathered and just talk about some of the things that some of the prices that have changed since the inflation. First of all, as you may have heard, Ghana money is performing really bad on the market. Every day the money value is going down. When we first came to Ghana last year, 600 Ghana cedis was the equivalent of $100 US. Now in Ghana, the equivalent of $100 US is 1,400 Ghana cedis. That is more than double what it was just a year ago. So the rate is increasing every day, and it's almost like non-stop. And what creates a disadvantage for prices are going up too. And there are things that are happening that I think some is fair and some are fair and some are just people taking advantage of the system. So the like some people are putting their prices up that should not be putting their prices up, and especially for the things that they're transacting, and some have valid reasons to put their prices up. So because Ghana uses local currency, it's not like Liberia. So right now, when it comes to market, money, equivalent, and things like that, Liberia would be performing much better than Ghana. So Ghana's money, they use local currency. So you cannot spend US dollars in Ghana, except for those landlords. They're taking US dollars now, these people. So when you pay in local currency and the US rate goes up, you buy something, let's say for example, you buy something 50 Ghana cedis, but the person is going outside of the country to bring the things in. 50 Ghana cedi wouldn't be the equivalent of what they need to get it outside the country, okay? It might be the equivalent of 100 Ghana cedis in the US rate outside the country. So it's costing businesses more money to purchase than we are buying. So because of that, they have to carry the prices up. Now, for those who are not importing out of the country, they are trading locally. It also costs them because to source the raw materials, the transportation prices are going up. Raw materials prices are going up and all of that. So the prices are just like every single day, even the local market. If you go to the local market, you're not buying goat meat the same price. I don't know why goat meat price is going up. Like, is it costing more money to raise these goats now? Within this short time, goat meat prices has skyrocketed. Just foodstuffs. And for the sad part about it is, for us, we can afford it. For people who have come out of the country, even though you're seeing your budget going up, you can still afford it. So it's not affecting you as much. But at the rate of what these prices are going up, every day my heart bleeds for the local. Like, I want to get mad, but I don't know what I could do. Like, there's nothing much I could do. So I guess the little that we could do when we go places, we just tip people a lot more than like way beyond what they would expect, and most of them are so grateful for that. And even our staff, we've increased the income just so it can accommodate the market rate, because it wouldn't be livable at all, I swear. And the sad part about it is, a lot of the people working out there, the prices are going up every day, but salaries are not going up. Salaries are not going up, and it makes it really sad. And people have been complaining, even on the news, on the radio, on the TV, television, that imagine if someone was making $100, which is 600 Ghana cedis back then, and now that equivalent is 1,400, but they're still making 600 Ghana cedi because the employer has not increased that. They are now making $50, the equivalent US dollars, which cannot even take you for the month. So it's at a disadvantage, and that's one of the disadvantages of using local currency, where it's a lot different in Liberia because we're using US dollars rate, even though we have local currency. That's a whole different story. I'll talk about that when I go to Liberia. And I think we're far from making our local currency in Liberia strong. So I think that other one would take a while to get there. But so gasoline, for example, gasoline in the country currently, the rate has been going up. It used to cost us about 400 Ghana cedis to fill our tank, which would have been around $30-$40 at the time. Now it's costing us 850 Ghana cedis to fill our tank, which is about 60 something dollars to fill a small sedan. So the equivalent 1 liter, so they sell the gasoline per liter, and 1 liter is about 17 Ghana cedis. The last I checked, it has probably gone up 17 Ghana cedis, and it takes about 4 liters to make 1 gallon. So how we would price it in the US as 1 gallon, it would take 4 liters to make us that 1 gallon. But the equivalent of that in US dollars would be about $4.68 per gallon of gas. And what I'm saying is it might be a little higher now because I haven't purchased gas in a week or two. So about almost $5 a gallon of gas. Uber drivers are complaining. We just took Uber the other day, and the guy was saying that customers are not, Uber had to put their price up, and customers are not calling for Uber. They're not using the rides anymore. Locals are parking their cars and taking trotro, which is like the buses, the public buses. And we were laughing about that. We said in Liberia, people will, I don't care how bad that rate is, people will never park their car to take local buses. That's a topic for another day. But people are parking their cars, so even traffic is going down. And people are making fun of it on the radios and stuff, but it's not funny, it's serious. People are trying to save as much as they can, not spend so much. Things that used to, like even kinke and fish that used to be so cheap for locals to eat, now it's expensive to even eat a meal a day, let alone 3 meals or for the whole week. If you're not working, it's really difficult. So gasoline prices up. Because of that, a lot of things prices are going up. Now rents are going up too. I think landlords are just being greedy. These landlords are taking prices up, and now they're requiring, some of them are requiring US dollars, that you pay in US dollars, because they want to hang on to that US dollars to get more money out of it, because it's worth more. And I think that's unfair because there's no inflation that's affecting your house. You know, another thing that we've noticed during this inflation time is, maybe it's just dry season, it has nothing to do with the inflation probably, is that we're using a lot more electricity than we were before during the rainy season. Now I'm not sure what the phenomenon of that is, but yeah. And then ironically, the electricity is more stable during this dry season than it was during rainy season, which is a little strange too. It's the other way, it should be the other way around. Remember I told you guys when I did the last budget that we had opted up our electricity budget from 1 something to like 250 because we didn't want to have to think about it. So we were doing like 125 every 2 weeks and 125 US dollars every 2 weeks. And we had a lot left over because it was just way enough that we didn't have to worry about it. Now we're consuming just about that. We're not, I don't think we're paying more than the 250 yet. I think there was one time we actually paid a little more than the 250. But we're consuming just about the 250, and it's finishing like right on the mark where we have to tap up again, but not anymore. So imagine using that much, and I don't know if any situation, like anything, any living situation that we have that would change would affect that as well. So grocery budget, our budget really has not changed much because like we always plan a little more in the budget. So that little wiggle room that we had in the budget is now being consumed by the increasing prices. So we're not seeing much difference. The what's hitting us would be maybe gasoline, like that, gasoline. And then if you're going out to purchase other things, it's adding up. But I really feel for people who are not making as much. The country is becoming a lot harder for low income earners. And it's a sad thing. It really is a sad thing. Yeah, so I'm not sure how. There have been a couple of people that have visited us from Liberia, and we were talking about these things, and they said Liberia has its own challenges, but they're not seeing a lot of that. So, we even though Liberia is somewhat more expensive than Ghana, but they're not seeing a rise in prices as a result of inflation. The US dollar is stable. And one example is when we were there last December, the rate is just about the same all year up to this December. It has not changed. We were getting 750 Liberian dollars for $5 US, and it's just about that. It's still the same. So the rate has remained fairly stable in Liberia, even though we struggle from shortages, but the things are not drastically increasing all over in compared to Ghana. Another thing is when you're paying when you're paying rent and stuff, if you sign a contract and you have to pay the money and you don't send that money in time, if when the rate changes, the landlord demands the now increased rate. I don't understand why land prices are inflating. Maybe someone can tell me if you understand how that works, and why the value of houses like rents are actually, or maybe people are just being greedy, and rents are getting ridiculously high in Ghana, and I will do another video about that and how it's affecting the locals. But I just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit about the inflation and how it is when it comes to different items. I think those are the major ones, but if you have any specific question, ask it and I will be glad to answer your question. If you watched the video up to this point, you're probably thinking about relocating to Ghana or Liberia, or you just want to learn about the experience of being here in Africa. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. I am going to be more constant now with my YouTube upload. I do have a lot more videos to upload. I just have not gotten to them to edit. Editing takes up a lot of time, and that's what slows the process. But I will be getting back to it. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye bye.